Hello everyone. Sorry for getting so much late. Firstly, wish you a happy Makar Sankranti. That's why because of that I was so late because visiting to the mandir and after that doing the household chores and also starting a live streaming from today so that it was little bit late. But from tomorrow, this will not be going to happen. So let's have a recall. Let's have a recap of the page what today we are going to cover. So the front row is about inflations, PMZ Mora Tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir. Second one is about the first page that was the Delhi High Court, India summons Bangladesh and Kerala youth. A little actually I am trying to cover more news and editorials in a less time so that I am just added two or three newses in one single pages so that if you basically you get the headlines and you will read yourself if I am unable to explain anything properly. So just I've added the important editorial articles. If you found something more important then you can also read yourself, but I will try my best to deliver it. So the next one is about the Mahakumbh begins as a pilgrim for Sai Snan. Fourth one is about there are basically two editorials and one the yesterday editorials that I found it important, so I added it to this slide. Fifth one is about the trump card, global politics. Sixth one the yesterday slide about the reform in MEA. Seventh is about the two articles related to the rat hole mining. I covered both pages in a one single page because both is related to rat hole mining that is going that was the recent case in the of Assam. It one is about the one science and tech questions. The doctor of 40 nations. Sixth, hard to treat fungus. Ninth one is about the resisting the transparency and way forward of PM Kisan. So let's moving to the from the front page. Let's start. Inflation flow falls to a 4-month low in December. So here the food inflation, marginally increased up to 8.4%. 8.4%. So but some critical item reports sharper prices like inflation in edible oils. Inflation in edible oils. Here I was already written. Here is inflation in edible oils, fat and the 33 months high. So there is a 4-month low high is 5.2% in December and from 5.5% in November. With the food inflation is cooling marginally from 9.04% in November to 8.4% in last month. So this data was by NSSO. It was released on Monday. So here the overall consumer prices is 4.6% higher. 4.6% higher in the December and from urban residents compared to with 4.9%. 4.9%. So here the faced steeper prices of 5.8%. So already mentioned and just marginally below the 5.95%. So with December inflation printed, India consumer prices inflation is 5.63% in the third quarter of 24-25. So here it was 5.7% and RBI expected inflation cool up to 4.5%. Even as a slow, the spurred sharp calls from the government industry, where is the October 15 month high of 10.9% and faster upticks in the prices including the edible oil and the fats of 33 month high with from November 13.3% rises. 13.3% it rises. So here at the 8.670 to dollars billion rupees Dollar rupees records a sharpest slide in 2 years. In what proved the manic Monday for India, financial record recorded sharpest slide. It's a recorded sharpest slide. So in almost 2 years, close to 66 pass it down. 66 pass it down with against the US dollar at 86.70. 6.70. So the global market fueled the downturn for India's currency with stocks, small caps, mid cap indices, and advanced decline ratio share. The BSE Bombay Stock Exchange hit by 0.15 lowest since June 24. So here about the PM opens the Z-More tunnel in JK and silent on statehood. So basically there was already demanding from making of the union territory to the, there's Ladakh is already was demanding and leading a protest by the Wanchuk. So there was an environmentalist, already you have heard about that Ladakh news, because the environmentalist, there's a huge impact on the global climates. So the environmentalists demanded basically their leaders, so Sonam Wanchuk, that Ladakh should be considered as a statehood instead of the union territory, because after the article 370 union, Jammu Kashmir state splits into the Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh become a union territory, so they are demanding the statehood. So basically he was talking about the silent on statehood. So here the Z-More tunnel in Sonmarg area of the Gandhar Bul on Monday remained on the timeline of restorations, but he said new network territory has bridged the distance between Jammu Kashmir and Delhi. So in response to the Chief Minister Omar Abdullah, he referred Modi remained silent on dividing the timeline when Modi make a diverging. So here the tunnel is built. Modi inaugurated a tunnel at the art of 6.5 kilometer long tunnel. Question can be asked about this tunnel because recently it was in news. So another architecture, there was a maybe it can be asked what 6.5 kilometer, what was the budget of this tunnel? It's 2700 crore, and tunnel has made tourist spot Sonmarg round year destination. So the militant attacks the October 2024. So referring the left 7 workers dead at construction site. Mr. Modi said, "I salute the dedication of workers and harsh weather conditions ever risk their lives." So the this tunnel will connect. Just remember this tunnel will connecting the Kashmir with Ladakh at the east, with the lives of people in Kargil and Leh, and tunnel gives the new wings to tourism. So next, moving to the front page of these articles. The Delhi High Court pulls the AAP government for delaying in the tabling of CAG reports hereabouts, and India summons the Bangladesh award of fence work. That already covered about India's fence work that was going the foreign minister Jasmine Uddin expressed the deep concern for Indian in Dhaka Pranay works by the border security force. And so there's a smuggling, movement of criminals, trafficking, lighting, installation of technical devices, measures the border, acting the high courts in India. So Mohammad Nuruma, Joint Secretary, and Myanmar South Ministry Bloc. So the Dhaka Delhi High Court pull up the AAP government for delaying the CAG report. The fit on a table in the controller CAG over the city administration of assembly, so it raises the doubts about the bona fides. Sachin Datta, justice hearing the petition of opposition MLAs BJP over tabling of CAG report, marked the so here basically he was tabling the CAG reports, saying it raises doubts about their bona fides. So the way he dragged the feet raises the doubt of, because promptly reporters have promptly asked to speaker for discussion in assembly, and CAG reports over the city administration. CAG report over city administration before the assembly. So you are dragged to feed a word, seeing the number of dates you held, LG governor to forwarding the speaker timeline, judge said. So here is the one more news. Kerala youth killed in relative injury for fighting the Russian army, says family. Here is about the family member named the Binil Babu, 32, one of the two men of the Thrissur district in Kerala who were forcibly enlisted by the Russian army, was killed in cell attack in Ukraine war front. So here the other youth, Jane Kurian, the other one was 27, who has been severe in attack and has been admitted in hospital in Moscow. Babu and Mr. Kurian are relatives. So they had gone to Russia for looking jobs and had been stuck in the conflict zone since 2024. So they were carrying out the dangerous tasks such as delivering supplies, digging trenches for Russian soldiers in Ukrainian territory. So later the Russian army has sent for combat. They had telephoned their families month ago and told them they might not able to call them again as they were asked to get red active for combat. So the news came as families have been desperately are trying to them back, and the Department of Non-Resident uh, Kerala Affairs, this Indian embassies seeking the reports, and the Department of Non-Resident Keralites affair. Basically, the Department of Ministry that taken uh, the Indian embassies, the persons who are residing before residing outside the India, like in other countries for any war or anything else, then this department will take care of and give the reports about that persons. Indian embassy was also playing important role there. So here is a Babu was working as electrician. Mr. Kurian was their professions before joining their traveling to the Russia for looking better opportunities and Poland by relatives. So here the two later realized that they were actually offered a visa to Russia. So they had spent a heavy amount for visa tickets according to the relative. So so Ukraine in August last year. Basically they were lost his life in selling in Ukraine in August last year. Sandeep Chandran, another youth from Thrissur, had lost. Just talking about that person. So moving to the next one is the most important and the ongoing news that was covering every news, headlines, reels, everywhere. The Mahakumbh begins. The 50 million pilgrims gather for Sai Snan. So here Sai Snan has already started from the yesterday, and today is about the first Snan, where the lot of pilgrims were accumulated there. Proper management by UP government, everything is just managed very nicely. Though, so it's here the Mahakumbh Mela, where the Sahi Purnima or the Sangam confluence of Ganga, Yamuna and the mythical Saraswati. Let me open that page. So basically, if somebody asks where was the four Melas organized, where the four first. So basically from the India editorial, Mahakumbh Mela is already a UNESCO Intangible Heritage Site given in 2017. There is also yoga given in 2016, Durga Puja and Garba 2023. These all are the UNESCO Intangible Heritage Site Basically intangible heritage that cannot be touched, but can the anything that is, the question is related to the art and culture. Already you know about the tangible and intangible heritage sites that can't be touched, but can be accumulated the many billions of peoples. And there is a called a international uh, festival, international things at the level. There is a basic one, there is unique identity about it. So where these melas already organized this Mahakumbh. So here basically Haridwar, on the which river can also ask. So here Haridwar at the Ganges river, Nasik, no, Nasik, Godavari, Ujjain, Shipra river, and Prayagraj, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. So basically there is an overflowing display with a devotion of faith despite a thick blanket of fog and blazing in the morning. So a sea of devotee world number gathering around a 50 million. 50 million gathered there, and temporary ghats including Sangam Noj in the city as they immersed in themselves. The prayer rituals take a holy dip in the occasion of Posh Purnima. So on the auspicious of Posh Purnima, Mahakumbh 2000, on the first bathing festival today, 150 is covering 150 crore Santanan believers on the holy benefit. And devotees got the chances to clean festival today and holy benefits of clean the Triveni, said Yogi Adityanath. At Sangam Ghat of international pilgrims, spiritual seeker joined the festives. Like several YouTuber from South Korea capture the experience, cameras, Japan, with the local guides to understand the cultural significance. And many international visitors like Christina from Spain was calling once Mahakumbh as once in the lifetime experience. And it basically is a very proud moment for India, that is recognized as an international uh, Sangam, international Mahakumbh Mela, which was recognized at international level. So the Mahakumbh Mela included administration of Prayagraj, UP Police, Municipal Corporation, Ganga Sheva Doot, Kumbh Sayank, religious social organization. These all are the units that are controlling and organizing this world level Mahakumbh Mela. So that the tight security, about a 50,000 security personals keeping vigilance with the senior officials, additional director ADG Bhanu Bhaskar, deputy inspector Senior Superintendent, everything, tower at Sangam. And there is a influx of pilgrim. 2019 Kumbh Mela said, and they witnessed the marketplaces. Day one is the experience of a lifetime. Basically here said by their busy attending of a huge number of devotees. The water as a symbol of divine blessing. Already know that Mahakumbh Mela, this is considered as a 76th district of UP. Already there is a 75th, and for this there is a 76th district is considered as a Mahakumbh Mela. So the Mahakumbh radio pilgrims keep the informed, entertained. Their question can be also asked about what is Kumbhavani radio. Kumbhavani radio. So it was an OTT based radio platform, radio FM channel dedicated to disseminating informations related to Kumbh Fair, at broadcasting at frequency 1.35 megahertz on the channel will be on year January 10 to February 26, and it's 5:55 a.m. to 10:5 p.m. Basically, it is organized for a 45 days an event with a Monday and Prayagraj with a Sai Snan on occasion. So it will be active till the 26th Feb. So here is the confluence of Ganga, Yamuna, and mythical Saraswati in the life of reports of here of the Kumbh Vani channel, events on the Kumbh Vani channel. There is a railway official sets. So here the also the some other also special cultural zone is called Kalagram. Kalagram. Kalagram, where music, theatre, and crafts program were held, and their country has been coming respective of Deepak Kumar Sen said. So moving to the next article is transforming the mentalities, redefining the masculinity. So here the UNESCO initiative, the goal of changing why men engage with gender issues is making a progress. So here the another International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women is passes November 25. Violence against November 25 is violence against women. International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women. International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women. So here you can, nearly the women worldwide has endured the violence at hands of men. Why these all are the reasons? Why? What are the nature? What are the backside history, backside story? The here writer is telling about the through the editorial covering what are the issues, what are the mentalities that redefine the masculinity. So here the nearly 1 in 3 women worldwide has endured the violence at hands of men, while men are often perpetrated. They can also a key agent of change. Addressing the violence against women requiring addressing men's roles and questioning the notions of masculinities based on the strength, aggressions, and control. And these notions need to be replaced by culture where equality, empathy, and non-violence define alternative notions. So, violence against women can be seen as somewhere paradoxically as quintessential men issues, societal issues that demand the active engagement of men from early childhood. Boys are influenced by norms that tell them strength is dominance, that emotions are weakness, asserting control is a way to protect their status. These deeply entrenched the ideas not only harm the women but also limits their men's life relationships, trapping them in a cycle of suppressed emotions and aggressive behavior, synchronizing the reshaping norms of essential creating healthier. The subject of men masculinities has become prominent with focus within the development sector in the past 2 decades, highlighted the strategies, the works shown men are increasingly stepping out to challenges traditional gender norms. The growing shift reflects a recognition from among men of role in the advancing gender equality. So basically, writer is talking about that this is a society that just define the men's behavior. If is not emotions is a weakness sign, strong aggressive behavior is dominant sign. There is a societal issue. It all demands the men is like this. They can't be emotions. They should don't show the emotions. They should be struck with their that strategies of work. Masculinities, the subject of men masculinities has become prominent focus. So recognizing a recipe is, of course, these if the emotions are not emotions are suppressed, then they came in the form of aggressive behaviors. So the UNESCO Transforming Mentalities initiative has aimed to shift the way man changes, engages with gender issues, not just with allies but active participate, stereotype the ideas of masculinity, fewer foster positive supportive roles, engaging the champions for gender equality, engaging the International Centers Research on Women ICRW, that is proud to present a report on engaging men and boys, a report on part 2 document 10 prioritizing the programs that engaging the address gender equality through the traditionally gender norms. Inclusive attitudes, emphasizing the education's open programs, empower the participant household. For example, Mardo Wali Baat thing is initiative by the YP Foundations uses storytelling, the social media to foster the conversation. The campuses and community interventions limiting the narratives they had grown up. Okay, just let me open that page. So the young man on the campuses and communities intervention helped the young man critically just examine the limiting narratives they have grown up with, empowering them with to embrace the values respect equality. Similarly, the gender equity movement in schools, GEMS, a collaboration between ICRDU, GEMS and initiatives by the YP Foundation, uses a storytelling media like a collaboration of ISO Department of Education in state of Rajasthan, uses the interactive classroom activities to help the adolescents boys to see harm in the toxic masculinity and adopt a more equitable gender attitudes. So it is basically used to reflect the that I used to think boys should only do outdoor chores. Now I believe we should work alongside women at home. Basically, with collabing with the James and ISO, there is a they uh, they just change their behavior attitude toward that. Does outdoor chores are not only made for boys. uh, Alongside women just don't work only at the home. So the movements of transformation creates a ripple effect that can reshape the entire communities. Initiatives like देख रेख, caring for each other, हमारी शादी, our marriage, encourage the men active participations in the family, taking gender bias, nutrition and planning tackling gender's bias through small everyday actions, intervention invited to engage with gender equality as a part of their lives rather than as an abstract idea. Change of becomes possible. So what is the defining roles of public figures? Change is also become possible when men and boys have positive roles model of demonstrating equitable behaviors. This initiative underscored the importance of role of model actively participant in household and caregiving. So basically, this initiative of behavioral change should be started from the basic our home, our society, that don't object the men's behavior, that don't defines the women's behavior, that this work is made for men, this work is made for women. There should be a gender equality, there should not be a biasness on this. So the change also become when, so basically writer is also telling that there is a good parenting, the initiative role model actively participate in household caring, practice empathy, embrace the vulnerability. Just normalizing just can public figure in particular can normalize gender equality. For instance, a well-known Indian cricketer recently sparked a national conversation. They shared the parenting responsibility. Actions such as highlighting how equitable relationships are rooted in care, partnership, redefining a means to be a man in the ways that uplift both individual and communities. So the path is equality is long. An active participation of men is very crucial in this journey. Beyond rejecting violence, men can challenge the stereotypes and cultural norms that is perpetuate it. So basically, there is a themselves is an essential contribution to the change, helping to dismantle toxic ideas of manhood. That we are just carrying that stereotypes and that toxic behavior. It should be by rejecting the violences, men can challenge them. They must be themselves as essential contributor to change. So the question is, the privilege of patriarchy grants the world to explore the ways, play the transformative and reshaping their roles, a more equitable society for all. So in this new year, let us celebrate those men and boys who are transforming mentalities. So writer is telling about, let's celebrate those men and women that are transforming mentalities and championing equality together by redefining a masculinity we can create a world where every individual, regardless of gender, is free from violence and empowered to thrive. Basically, it's not the violence is just related to the women's. It is can be also related to the men. So there should be a place to this new year that we can create a world where every individual, regardless of gender, is free from violence and empowered to thrive. Society can't judge a person, their behavior, their behavior attitude towards him, but this should be start from our basic grassroots level, and these things led further arises from where we came from. So just concluding and ending to this article, moving to the next, a very good article, just I found it, so I just cover it here. Gender equality in men's answer writing, we can write about the gender equality if there is any questions regarding this, taking some hints from this article. So Trump card, the global politics and outcome for India. So basically writer is telling about how the Trump card global politics and how it is outcomes for the India. What are the impacts on India, the Trump card, global politics, everything. So basically writer is telling about that how we can define Donald Trump. The psychology of next US president is popular pastime. By his bold, disinhibited speaking style, his outspokenness, his focus on deal making, his real estate background that defines the coercive leadership, politics cast him very differently. A polarizing figure, wading constantly into controversies, stubborn and resilient, a master of populist rhetoric, presenting himself as a voice of common people, arranged against the outtouch of political statement. So basically, it was just writer define the figure of Donald Trump, how he's what are his like public figure, we see himself, how he's involved in everything, what is his nature and behavioral thing. So the America first, what is Mr. Trump approach to the rule-based international order? So we know from his presidency that America's first doctrine, he debunked multilateralism in gold. In global politics, he trashes international agreements that he believes do not favor United States. He prefer bilateral agreements. Over bilateral agreements. So he debunks the multilateralism in global politics and he trashes the international agreements. He believes do not favor United States. He prefers bilateral agreements over multilateral ones. The witness approaches that he is dismissive of international institutions like USA and regional bodies such as North Atlantic NATO organization. How many members are in NATO? Tell me in comment section. So the NATO organization saying that these disproportionately benefit the other nations at expense of US to delight his acolytes he plays. So the Trumpetian worldview strategy revolves around the bully pulpit, strong personal branding, willingness to take risks, and theoretical construct are emphasized. So the Donald Trump's transnationalism is legend. His MAGA, Make American Great Again policy will have implications influencing global geopolitics. This will entail a rise in protectionism in global trade, splitting tariffs and trade wars, and increase the economic uncertainty. So here intensified competition with China. Where Beijing is clearly framed economic and ideological adversity with global stability particularly. So Mr. Trump skepticism about global institutions will advise adventurism, politics and nationalism that overrides international law. Polarization in global politics will increasingly evidence the debates. So basically here the American isolation under MAGA since since signal the positions. US direct involvement in external conflicts encourages the powers such as China, Russia. So China and Russia. The strategic outlook for US relation is mixed, with Trump presidency is mixed. Here the US countering in China, particularly of postures, transgressions among the line of actual control. Countries in Chinese administration reason by incoming US administration era Quad, the Quad dialogues, Quads or US Australia James. What are Quad members are? What are the member of Quads? Which countries? India, USA, Australia, Japan. So here the where India is important constituent will be strengthened. India is cautious about the over-reliance on America, seek to ensure his own strategic autonomy. And vision, regional Indo-Pacific vision stress, regional cooperation, multilateralism and multipolarity. So India would will continue to emphasize its own strategic priorities shaped by history, geopolitics, national security, its economic interest, civilizations, border modernization through. So the compulsion of economic growth is central strategic outlaws. India's energy security, energy sources building and renewable energies maintenance. These are the basically the future plans with the US. Compulsion of economic growth is basically linked with him energy resources, renewable energy, maintenance of stable relationship with key suppliers are vital. Peace, vigility in South Asia are important. Vigilance about containing and neutralizing and destabilizing of key as a Pakistan and Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries apart from China to raise the defense preparedness. Key for strategic future are digital transformation is exploration, artificial intelligence, cyber security, digital infrastructure. These are the strategic futures, digital transformations, priorities, soft power. So the reality of second Trump presidency and the establishment pattern of history, victory in the elections indicates establishment pattern of history and geopolitics guides for future of no longer apply the positioning system for global order. They will instead disrupt the polarized, unstable global politics. All said may never be recently. GZ0 world has arrived. Law of jungle may provide the new global playbook. So he was saying is GZ0 world has arrived. So moving to the next article about the reform needed in MEA. So let me that. So reform needed in MEA. So India on the rise thanks to consistent political growth, political stability and bold autonomous foreign policy. It's about the foreign policies that is the G20 presidency, where strategic autonomy is during Russia-Ukraine conflict. Basically, the writers are telling about that the foreign policy, the embassies that were declared like their major plays, but global affair, Ukraine Russia conflict like external. However, the global stature comes to need for organization framework that support and sustain the ambitions. So here, ME's staffed with IFS. Okay, ME's staffed with IFS, Indian Foreign Service. Basically, the preferential after the UPSC exams, CSE after clearing already you know that, and we got 25 to 30 IFS in a year through exam, and we needed more. So there are facilities that he given to the IFS where is very less as compared to the other services, and we need a more foreign officers for dealing with the embassies policies, and there was a very less. So writer is telling in a detail about how what are the like facilities that should be provided to him, what are the more opportunities that for the better uh, for the better Indian foreign relations, for better requirements and the needing persons of recruitment of the more IFSs. So the ME staffed about the 850 Indian Foreign Services officer tasking with formulating the executing foreign policy 193 embassies across worldwide. So how many? 193. 193 embassies. So, consultant, while the annual intake of IFS officer increased from 12 to 30 to 35 in recent years. Previous it was recruited 12 to 13 annual intake, but now 30 to 35 intake. So it remained grossly inadequate. So very less. So comparatively, US has 14,500 foreign service officers. UK has 4,600. UK has 4,600 and Russia has around 4,500 officers. So given the current intake rate, India would require decades to reach optimal workforce of 1,500 officers. Of course, basically, if US, UK has a very less population than us, but India, which has taking a large populations and just require annual intake of only 25, 30, 32 is very less, and it take a decades to reach the 1,500 officers. To address the challenges, ministry should consider lateral hiring of absorbing officers from other government services, including the defense personnel with experiences at defense attaches, academic specialization, international relations, strabations. Adding the consultant could engage for specialized one stop gap appointment, MEA, internal requirement reorganization, to reduce the fragmentation and improve the coordination. So it has many small divisions, especially territorial ones, which often result in inefficiencies. For instance, India immediate neighborhood are declared a priority and foreign policies managed by 4 separate divisions. Bangladesh, Pi division. Its Pi division. Its Pi division is Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran. BM division, Bangladesh, Myanmar. It's Bangladesh, Myanmar. And IOR division. 4 division what was? Let me Pi. I'm not able to write it properly. There is a 4. So first one is Pi. Not able to write here. It's Pi. It's BM division. It's IOR division. Which one is left? BM division हो गया, Pi division, BM division, Northern division, and IOR. So basically, here was IOR is Sri Lanka, Maldives, and other nations, Indian Ocean region. So while input is collaborated at a higher level, such fragmentation increases the risk of oversight and hindrances. Surprisingly, Iran, Turkey, the two pivotal increases the risk of oversight and hindrance. The Gulf division oversees the 8 countries, WANA division, West Asia, North Africa. Surprising Iran, Turkey, the two pivotal notions, Central Europe division. Similar misalignments highlighted the needs of reconstruction of consolidating divisions. Financial support in administrative counterparts. Delhi faces significant improvement but are still inadequate to accommodate the growing cadre furthermore. So India's are limited making domestic posting less. So India's are limited making domestic posting less appealing than foreign assignments, providing better housing, medical coverage, education facilities for their families could work wonder for morale of these officers. So also the offering financial incentives for the Delhi posting could help. As Delhi posting was, there is very less medical facilities, financial initiatives are given. So the assessment and clear policies formulated before balance and generally list. Language skills, a key aspect, because if you are posted in different embassies, then you have to, if you're posted in China, then you have to learn Chinese, in Japan, Japanese. uh, for example, our foreign external minister, uh, S. Jaishankar, so he is posted in many different regions, and still he know many type of, he have to learn many type of languages to post it there. So uh, these are the language problems that created a fallen victim rotational posting system. Often undergo rigorous training in one foreign language during the initial year and are typically posted in countries where language is spoken. So subsequent posting often do not align with their linguistic expertise, reducing long-term benefits for this training. Dependence on interpretation, often in tricky negotiation, language skills proved a game changer, and the ministry could leverage this aspect. Moreover, officer progress in their careers, they should be encouraged to become specialist subject matter as technology, capacity field, cyber security, space policy, artificial intelligence. Expecting all the IFS officer to master these highly technical areas alongside with core responsibilities is unrealistic. Basically, of course, if you will learn one language, one thing, and then again post it, and one time you learn, then you just have to move to another, and expecting like lot of things could leverage aspects, often tricky negotiations proved a game changer. Technologies increasingly influences foreign policy, cybersecurity, space policies, artificial intelligence, and all from these is very co-responsibilities unrealistic. So there should be hire and retain of domain specialists who can focus exclusively on these issues. So despite these challenges, ME has made a significant efforts to evolve policy planning, research. Center for Contemporary Chinese Studies reflect emerging the global trends. Dynamic leadership, Dr. S. Jaisankar has been instrumental in the display. With Viksit Bharat developed India moved 100 of independence in 2047. Its foreign policy must evolve in tandem with global ambitions, of course. Should be. So moving to the next small news about rat holes mining. 6-year-old query of Supreme Court rat hole mine remain unanswered. What is they basically has written about what are the rat hole mining. Rat hole mining is practiced in two form. And what is rat mining? It is framed and involved digging of tunnels of 3 to 4 deeps, barely exacting the coal with pickers. Second type was cross cutting entails digging a circular sequences pit at the severe meters and stop down with the edge. So NGT already banned in April 2014. NGT ban. Basically, here is that the Assam state, like Meghalaya, is it out the little control, and 1943 does not apply here also due to lack of structural support, arid flood, land degradations. The cases at the Assam is Dima Hasao district that was happening in on 11 2019. The top court has also asked whether rat hole mining is operated in northeast or not, and basically the northeast state comes into schedule 5. So there is a less control of the government's any other acts. So let me just here are two cases about 6 old query from Supreme Court rat hole mine and unanswered, an oral question about whether it is not. Nearly 6 year ago, this case was already rising. So government again ask about why it is still the 6 old query is now answerable again. The 15 mining traps and in a mine deep of the miner deep inside the east of Jantia Hills on December 13, 2000. Lives are lost due to the legal mining. What about the officials? That is convinced official. Justice A.K. Slarry has asked the Union Meghalaya governor to hearing in January 2019. So the incident happens at the East Jantia Hill occurred 4 years after the NGT April 2024 banned the rat hole mining and illegal draining. The ban, second by Supreme Court, triggered the trapping of 30 coal laborers inside the Nungal Babran South Garo Hills of district of Meghalaya. Top court also already has banned this, but still this is following in many areas. So there is a 2019 judgment appealed by the state of Meghalaya to agree the NGT conclusion on scientific and mining neither can be held to interest of the people, so that the mines of interest of the mines work not in the interest of environment, so no unregulated scientific could be carried out here. The development of 1957 environmental protection and 1986 is already mining regulated, and 100 crores paid to the Meghalaya for protections. So apex note here. This rat mining also cases that here the explanation what led to NGT ban, why such mining is banned, what is the way forward. Such mining is banned because I already tell about the NGT ban April 2014. Why it is banned? Because the government has little control over the land in Meghalaya. 6th schedule state, not 5th. So here the Coal Mines Nationalism Act 1937 does not apply. So here the drilling through the machines, employing advanced drilling, the people Nepal, Assam joining the Bangladesh risk hazardous rat hole ventilations, collapse of mines due to structural support, flooding on thrice. Already everything is mentioned here 4 times as much work in the farms constructions. So apart from the issues, the health and the unregulated mining led to the land degradation. Here is the high concentration of sulfates, irons, heavy metals, low dissolved oxygen, biochemical. So 2 rivers, Lukha and Medutul, is already in the, there is a humiliated anti cases. The what is led to the ban? NGO reporters banned the NGO. With the first with Nepal is Benjamin Trust, meet one second with the action. There are many NGOs they try to ban. NGT also banned is because the classification of the human rights and in 2011 and Nepal employed in these. So there is a National Human Rights Commission, State Department Mining Geology under the pressure from National Human Rights Commissions, and these interesting NGT ban came earlier. After that NGT come later. So Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand coal seams in Meghalaya are very thin. So like unlike Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, the Meghalaya coal seams very thin. So the miners says maker rat hole mining more economically and viable than open cast mining. The state reserved that 576.48 million tons of low ashes high sulfur coals belonging to the eco scene. It becomes so high that it facilitated the resumption of mining legally, and made to Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma said the coal ministry should be approved and prospectives and license applicants so their scientific mining ensuring minimal environmental impact through sustainable and legally extraction procedures. Anti-mining activists assaulted the miners off, and scientific would be eventually fancy tag in state where profit has driven coal mining. So there is no scientific because profit has driven through the coal mining. So the moving to the next article about the doctors from the 14 nations seek the India's linkage name hard to treat fungus. A novel species of fungus is Trichophyton indiotioni that causes a widespread to hard to treat skin in antifungal infection and resistant to antifungal. Basically the diseases that antifungal that was very stubborn, that was led a very more time to treat anything else. Any other bacteria or anything can be slow, like can be cured very easily, but the fungus diseases, these are like antifungal medicines will work very less there. So here is a widespread hard, and this is hard to treat skin infections. So the Trichoindotini has turned upon in 40 countries and its origin currently remains unknown. Japanese dermatologist has spotted the fungus in patient from India and Nepal. Proposed 2000 fungus has been considered a new species name. So perception of the trichondrotil in line with historical traction linking new infections and impact the ignoring of exhaustion health results. So in the case species T. indotini was introduced based on isolates fungus previously. It is isolated fungus. Trichophyton has an internal transcript over ITS. Genotype is ITS genotype है इनका 8T interdistable. Genotype is genes expressing. So unclear origin often led to the considerable misinformation and science politics their population for known for faults and root notes. So moving to the next is just rotate the phone because I'm trying to just cover the whole article in one page, so that was just copied through this way. So just rotate the phone in portrait mode and then read so that you can better understand. So the year presiding officer Anil Mahas was caught on CCTV that meant manipulating the votes in Chandigarh major election about the victory. Incident has transparency and detail. Basically, the writer is talking about the transparency and eroding the public trust. How there is a interchangeable of the vote. Interchangeable and transparency process detected parents defections, frauds. How the secure victory BJP secure victory, manipulating CCTV cameras in Chandigarh mayor's elections. 93 conduct the elections rule provide a framework people to obtain a papers the specified rules rebate. The delays led to the doubts, so the part 3 of form fulfill the presiding officer for each polling station, each to fulfilling the filled by President Singh. So here be the disclosed information sections. What are the section that was lies? So here, what is the Biju Janata Dal, BJD, and the BJP letter format transparencies. Here is that article. I marked that important. BRS government also scrapped the villages. Last this, I don't know where is it. So here the 42 staticals reports were mentioned here. I'm not covering this article. I'm just covering from here this article. So the 2001 realizes the ECI and BJP would tell. There is one section that I was studying. Where was it? ECI returns the copies of 17C is unexpensible copies of part 3 and the rule of amendment rule of 93 to conduct the election rules 96 to restrict the public access election related record has no place in democracy. Rule number 93 and 2 conduct elections rules provide a framework to obtain information related to election, and 93.2 is originally stated the other than records specifically exempt under rule 93.1. And here the way forward for the PM Kisan, that how it become which provided 6,000 to income farmer support. It become operational in December 2018. 2018 is operable. It given 6,000 eligible farmer families. National Democratic Alliance retained the power NDA 2019. So it made it clear there was a scheme expected to be cost as 87 here it is written 87,215 crore public. So the amount dispersed is 70,000. So there are 14.5 crore mark. The data's chart 1 shows allocation schemes. The chart 2 shows the number of beneficiaries at time of installment, and here as the table shows the year wise distributions of funds from state of different region. So just go through these datas and charts. So today for all just let's have a summary and ending the today's editorial. I know today's editorial is so long, it's almost taking the 1 hour. So first one is inflation and 4-month Z moratorium. Second one is about the articles that Russian army and Indian summons Bangladesh. Third one is about the Mahakumbh that Sahi Snan. Fourth one is about the transforming mentalities editorials about redefining the masculinity. Seventh one is about the rat hole mining. one left is just reforms needed in MEA, global Trump card and global politics and outcome. 8 one is about the treatment hard to treat fungus that India's link named. 9th one is about the transparency and 1 PM Kisan transformation. So that's all. Today's ending with a, I know just I have just ended in a very fast way and last way because already the tutorials are getting so long. Just read by self one time more by self, because if you don't give have a understand some points at a, so just have go through one more time with yourself. Basically I've just got exhausted a lot and tiring and feeling so tired. So let's ending for today's. Let's meet for tomorrow editorial. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Till now, good night, take care, stay hydrated. Let's meet for tomorrow editorial. Be on time. Okay, bye.